Hey there YouTube, it's Pliskin, and I'm cleaning my M1A again, and I forgot to show a step in my two previous videos of cleaning this rifle, and that's regreasing the chamber. I've already got the guide rod and spring out of it, but how I regrease the chamber, let me go ahead and take the bolt out, or charging handle off. Op rod and charging handle. And let's take the bolt out. Set the dirty rag here. Set the bolt in that. Alright. What I do is I basically wipe the entire inside of the receiver clean, because after a while brass starts getting caught in the grease and other stuff like carbon. See how dirty that is? Although the grease I use is kind of black and brown anyway. So I clean this rail here right where the op rod charging handle goes back and forth. That cycles the bolt. Then I clean the back of the receiver over here. I need to get on the other side of the camera. I get all the inside of the receiver back here, because this is where the bolt rides to reset the hammer after you fire it. And I get the whole other side of the receiver where the other locking lug goes. See, there's a lot of carbon in there, as you can tell right here. Burnt powder. Get the inside of that rail some more. This is the first time I broke down the rifle and cleaned it in, probably since around Christmas. I go a few months before I clean it and regrease everything. Now I'll go back through with the brush and everything like I did in the other videos of how I cleaned it. But I'm just doing this part here because I forgot to show it in those two videos of regreasing the bolt. Alright, basically got the majority of the inside of the receiver clean. Now I take the bolt itself. See, it needs cleaned, but I take the bolt and I wipe off all the grease on the bolt too. The roller, the other locking lug, some grease up here around the bolt face, and the back here where the firing pin gets struck by the hammer. I degrease it too. And the back locking lug right here has 3 locking lugs. Forgot to mention that in the other video too. Kind of helps lock the bolt in place when it tilts in the receiver. Get back here underneath the left locking lug. Back in there, just basically anywhere there's grease. I wipe it all down. And the door magically just moved back there. Don't know if you guys heard that, but it kind of forced itself open a little bit. That's kind of creepy. It may be my cat. He may be wanting to help me clean my M1A. Now basically get it back down to its bare metal. Remove all the grease off of the bolt. Yeah, it's him. He's trying to get in. Get all the grease off the bolt itself. Put it back. Now I do the op rod. And see, there's a channel on the inside of the op rod where the roller of this bolt fits. See, they kind of, trying to give you a perspective here, kind of fits like this. And that rolls up in that channel like this. I have to do the bolt roller again, but I was just giving you all a demonstration. That's what allows the bolt to tilt inside the receiver and lock down. And as you can see, there's a lot of grease that's in that as well. So I'm going to wipe it bare as well. Anywhere there's grease, I always wipe dry when I put a new coat of grease in the receiver. Get every little bit of it. I don't ever put oil in the receiver because oil burns off as the gun gets hot. I only put oil inside the barrel itself when I run rags through it, and I only put it on the outside to keep it from rusting, especially if I've been out on hot, humid days. Alright, basically got that clean. Now, I know there's some right there on the op rod itself up here where it rides the rail. I get it too. Alright, next is the regreasing process. Hey guys, real quickly here, I am, like I said, I'm cleaning the rifle, and I had an extreme amount of carbon buildup up here on the very top, or very tip of this gas piston. And I had some extreme carbon buildup on the tip of the op rod. Where's my, okay, there it is, on the tip of the op rod. So what I've done, even though I don't put oil on these, I just put a little patch of Butch's bore sign on the tips of them, rub them in. As you can see, the carbon buildup so bad that it is outlined the gas piston on the op rod there. So I'm letting that Butch's bore shine soak up that carbon, and I'm going to wipe them off here in a very short moment. But I figured I would let you all see that. That is something that I'm going to start doing when I have copious amounts of carbon buildup on the tip of the gas piston and the op rod. and clumsy me, I accidentally poured out a little too much of that butcher's bore shine that's over on the other table, and it has stunk up the room. So I'll come back to that here momentarily. Alright, I took care of the piston and op rod. I wiped the bore shine off of them, and I think I'm going to probably coat them in like a light oil. The very ends where they meet in the gun, the tips of them. I'm going to coat them in a light oil and kind of wipe them off again. But now I'm ready to re-grease my M1A's receiver. The gun grease I use is Outers gun grease. The stuff, I was originally using a different type of gun grease prior to using this stuff, but I used this stuff one time and it was real good. I mean, like it seemed, my gun seemed to run smoother with that type of gun grease. Alright, like I was saying, my gun really likes to run with this stuff. I mean, it breaks like glass, the bolt and everything. Oop. So I use this for my M1A. So first we're going to do the bolt here. See if I have any more left. May not have any. I got enough. Alright, and get a finger of it. Rub some on the roller wheel there for the op rod. I put some on the other bolt. Anywhere where there's shiny spots. I put some back there on that other locking lug too. Let's see, I put some back here. Put some on the sides. Help it go in the receiver a little bit better. Alright, let's set that back over there. I'm going to get another glob here of it. Alright. I fill this entire recess with grease all up along the top of it, back down here where this part rides in the rail, this rail right in here. Got that, and now I do the receiver. Get another glob. I'm almost out of this stuff. That's an older bottle. Put some grease in that rail there. That's where the back of the op rod right here fits in and goes around, or goes back and forth when the gun cycles. I rub it all back in here. And on that opposing rail some too. Whoop, got too much. And just coat the whole back end of the receiver with the grease. Get some on up on the inside of it right in there. Alright, that should be good. And that is how I regrease my M1A. Let's get the bolt back in, just for demonstrational purposes. Let's see. Sometimes it's stubborn and doesn't want to go back in. There we go. Alright. Sweet. See? It rides real nice in there. See, check it out. Regrease the chamber. Slides back and forth in the receiver very well. No hang-ups. Everything rotates and tilts the way it's supposed to. There's no hesitation in the op rod. No hanging up. When you rotate that, you can feel it come forward and back with ease. Now, the gas piston, as you can see, let me show you again. It's having some hard time getting in and out of that gas tube. What this is called for M1As is the tilt test, and what it is supposed to do is show that everything in the gun is moving smoothly. No hang-ups, no hesitation of the op rod or the bolt or the gas tube or gas piston. But as you can see, my gas piston is having some difficulty getting in and out of its home. So I do believe the gas system tool is on my list of things to get next.